The question some people will ask is, where can you function as a public relations practitioner? And you can function in different areas. For students who are training in public relations, they are asking their lecturers or teachers the same question some of us asked when we were training in public relations. Over the years, there are established routes for public relations practitioners, and you have massive opportunity as in any other profession. Recently, mass communication was unbundled into 7 different professions in tertiary institutions. That is a good development because hitherto, some trained practitioners find it difficult to know which route to follow. Now you can specialize in any area of mass communication, public relations inclusive, advertising inclusive, and broadcasting inclusive, and other aspects of mass communication. But today we are going to deal with public relations aspect, which is a different profession on its own. Despite that, we have routes for practitioners to retrained after they have graduated from school. There are professional examinations that are done in stages by the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations and several other professional examining bodies all over the world, in different countries, in different languages, and in all parts of the world. It is also important for you to aspire to have such qualification so that you can have a wide experience. So you can enter the practice of public relations from different routes. Some have been in journalism. That is the most popular route because there is a thin line between journalism, mass communication, and public relations. But if you enter through any route, you still have to know the rudiments of public relations. The easiest route is for you to enter through in-house practice. Organizations recruit public relations practitioners, popularly called public relations officers. Some of them call them public relations manager, and in some organizations, there are routes to grow up to director of public relations. In some organizations, they don't use the word public relations. They use the word public affairs. And some organizations, they don't use the word public affairs. They would use the word corporate affairs. Perhaps corporate affairs is the most popular in most establishments. But whichever nomenclature, it is still the practice of public relations that must build image for the organization where they work. They're still doing the same thing, but people are comfortable with whichever adjective they want to use. If you are entering as an in-house public relations, there are minimum standards that you are expected to possess, depending on the level you are entering. In today's corporate world, some people got moved from other departments into public relations department. Closely, maybe from marketing department, and maybe legal, or maybe admin into public relations. In some cases, some people are looking at the glamorous aspect of public relations, which has been jettisoned long ago. As you and I know, public relations is the management advisor on corporate image, on reputation management, and on issues that will affect the general image of the organization. So it is not a show business. However, most people see the journalism aspect of public relations as very visible, i.e., when they have to relate well with the media. As you know, you cannot relate well with the media if you don't have a good in-house image. You have to be able to relate well with people who are working in the organization as internal publics in public relations. That will project your image. If you have very bad staff, then you cannot build image for such organization. So the public relations person is expected to work with the management to make sure that everybody is aligned with the vision of the organization. Then again, you have to be able to identify all other aspects that are critical. The issue of publics of public relations, which in management they are called stakeholders. And if you are not able to work with the investors, the financial community, and any other public you identify, you cannot have a good image. If you are not able to work with the community, you cannot have a good image. So therefore, what it means is that you have to clear this gray area, if they are gray, before you now begin to build image. And the aspect people see is when you go to the media. So you must be able to move to the management and advise them on what you think will affect the image of the organization. And I repeat myself, what you think will affect the image of the organization. The management should give you free access. It is not for you to begin to do protocol job, go and book flights at the airport and all that. That's okay. But you should be able to sit down in management meeting and look at policies that will affect the image of the organization and advise them so that they will know. So in-house public relations practitioner, we have to go through all of this. You can enter at junior level. You may have bosses you have to work with, but you must know all of this for you to be able to assert yourself about this. Then you can also work later in life as a public relations consultant. You can't be a consultant unless you have a wide range of experience. Then you have clients you will be advising on how to handle their matters. That is second route. You can also be a public relations counselor. It's close to being a public relations consultant. But these are older people, and they are known to the organizations patronizing them. And from time to time, they are invited to come and work for them or advise them at different level. And again, you can also be a public relations advisor. Sometimes people employ senior people as their advisor at very senior level. These are not very common. So the 4 areas you can function is: number 1, you can be an in-house PR practitioner. Number 2, you can be a consultant. Number 3, you can be an advisor. Number 4, you can be a counselor. And in all of these, you must know what you're supposed to do. That's why training and retraining, it's very important. Either way, or any of them, you are achieving the same objective of building good image for your organization. And in any of these specializations, you have a lot of work to do. You are helping in media relations, you are helping in advisory services, you are helping in organizing special events, and so on and so forth. So you have massive opportunity when you go into public relations as a practitioner.